Can a company do business and also be sustainable? Meaning, can it ensure that its operations have the lowest possible impact on our planet? RadiciGroup thinks so, as demonstrated by its industrial policies, set out in its annual sustainability report, and by its products. But before we discuss it in more detail, allow us to reflect for a moment. This is a plastic bottle that is now empty. Do you have any idea how many plastic containers are recycled in Italy through differentiated rubbish collections? More than 180,000 tons per year. An immense amount, but there is certainly room for improvement. A large number of plastic jars, bottles and food packaging still end up in landfill sites or, worse still, are simply abandoned. Throwing away a bottle like this in woodland or into the sea is a very serious mistake because it will take centuries to decompose.
The good news, however, is that 75% of the bottles collected are recycled, i.e. selected, washed and ground up before the fragments of foreign bodies are removed and the former bottle is transformed into new plastic material. The process of PET recycling is important because it allows companies that produce plastic items or man-made yarn to make the most of materials that would otherwise be consigned to landfill. In this way, it becomes possible to reduce the accumulated amounts of non-biodegradable waste and to extend the life of the raw material. For every kilogram of PET that is recycled, 3 kilograms of CO2 is saved. So by recycling 1,000 kilos, we can save 3,000 kilos of CO2 with respect to the amount that would be emitted if we were to manufacture new PET from scratch. To give you an idea of the scale we are talking about, just consider the fact that 3,000 kilos is the amount of CO2 emitted by a medium-sized vehicle over the course of a year. These are the figures that provide real food for thought.
RadiciGroup began some time ago to conduct research into and to develop recycled polyester yarn with the objective of reducing pollution, which is an irreversible process. Any company that designs and manufactures industrial products has a responsibility to rethink its production chain in terms of sustainability. As you can see from the graph, recycled PET makes it possible to achieve significant savings in terms of energy consumption, as well as substantial reduction in atmospheric emissions and wastewater. The energy saved can be measured through a parameter, an indicator known as the GER, gross energy requirement, which is used in all life cycle assessments, a methodology that is recognized and regulated internationally, and that is geared towards evaluating the environmental impact of a process or a product. Recycled PET involves around 50% less energy than standard polyester. If we then take into account the water consumption, we can see that water has a crucial role to play in the coloring and treatment of man-made yarn. We have developed dyeing techniques that allow us to achieve a considerable reduction in the amount of water we use. Indeed, by solution dyeing rather than cone-type yarn dyeing, it is possible to produce a yarn using up to 600% less water. So, reduced utilization of energy and water are the main features of our RAD yarn, which is made from recycled polyester.
Let's now take a look at the full range of polyester yarns offered by RadiciGroup. First off, we have the best-selling yarns, Rad Yarn and Starlight, made using virgin polymers and intended to meet the specific requirements of the market. Then there are the green alternatives, R-Rad Yarn and R-Starlight, which are made using recycled PET and are also available in a solution-dyed version, which, as we've seen, is particularly ecological. But to better appreciate the characteristics of a yarn like solution-dyed R-Rad yarn, we need to draw a few comparisons.
This table allows us to compare the characteristics of recycled polyester with those of similar products, using the parameters of the Life Cycle Assessment, LCA. As I stated earlier, the first indicator relates to energy consumption, the GER, gross energy requirement, which represents the energy needed to produce a kilogram of yarn. And as is made clear in the table, yarns based on recycled PET make it possible to reduce substantially the energy expended for regular yarns, with our rad yarn requiring just 50% and our Starlight as little as 25%. Another very important parameter is the global warming potential, or GWP, which is an index used to give an indication of the potential for global warming, expressed in terms of kilograms of carbon dioxide per kilogram of product obtained. In this case, too, the results betray the advantages of recycled polyester. Perhaps the most surprising piece of data concerns the consumption of water at the spinning and dyeing stages. As you can see, the figure of 80+ liters required to process 1 kilogram of standard material can be reduced to less than 5 liters in the case of our rad yarn, and in the case of our Starlight, falls to less than 2 liters. Another important index is eutrophication, which gives an indication of the negative effect that certain chemical substances have on wastewater. By significantly reducing the content of these substances, the purification process is markedly enhanced.
Why should a weaving factory or a knitwear factory choose yarns such as our Starlight or our rad yarn?
We are living through a time in which ecological sustainability is a very important parameter, both for the end users of garments and for the textile business that uses intermediates. Being able to demonstrate the sustainability of your fabric becomes a crucial competitive factor. RadiciGroup monitors the entire recycled polymer production chain, from the recovery of plastic through the differentiated rubbish collection carried out by the National Packaging Consortium, to the transformation of post-consumer waste into yarn, a process that, it should be stressed, is carried out entirely in Italy.
Safe and sustainable Italian-made yarns that also offer the aesthetic appeal considered so essential by stylists and designers, RadiciGroup offers a color chart that encompasses 6,000 shades, which are also available for limited quantities starting from 200 kilos. And what about their utilizations?
Recycled polyesters deliver the same levels of performance as standard yarns, and they also have the same aesthetic properties. Moreover, they are Oeko-Tex certified since they contain no substances that are hazardous for the health of the end users. We're talking about yarns with highly advanced technical characteristics from which we can expect even more. Let's talk about our Starlight. The yarns are available in bacteriostatic, our Starlight Feel and anti-UV, our Starlight UV Guard versions. In addition, thanks to the combination of several additives, it is possible to bring together features such as flame retardancy, UV resistance and bacterial resistance. The Our Starlight range is available in various series of counts, colorations and lusters, and in texturized and tasselinized versions. These yarns can also be produced with different sections, from the standard section, rounded and trilobal, to special sections, multilobal, channel, hollow trilobal.
For which intended uses are our Starlight yarns suitable?
Our Starlight is suitable for furnishing fabrics, especially for curtains, linings, upholstery and trimmings, but can also be used in the clothing sector, sports, fashion, underwear, footwear, and the automotive sector, seats, panel covers, coverings, as well as in industrial textiles, covers, filters, nets, cords, and in the medical sector, bacteriostatic textiles, elasticated bands, sleeves and stockings.
And what are the main characteristics of our rad yarn?
The R-Rad yarn range too is also available in texturized and tastonized versions, with various series of counts, interminglings, colorations and lusters, as well as in various section types. These yarns can be bacteriostatic and anti-UV. Clients are also offered a customized sample service that is tailored to meet the requirement for specific structures, colors and utilizations. The R-Rad yarns are very versatile and can be used in clothing and underwear, as well as in the furnishing, automotive, industrial and medical sectors.
Is the market ready for items that make no secret of the fact that they have had a previous life?
Yes, the time is right, or will soon be right. There is an increasing appetite on the part of consumers for products that are at once attractive, safe, and eco-friendly. Companies that focus on sustainability must, however, know how to communicate their strategy, engaging in a dialogue that raises the consumer's awareness. Communicating the importance of sustainability within the B2B chain is all about presenting objective arguments and data that prove the validity of the decisions taken and the strength of the commitment made. This is precisely what we offer our clients, not just products, but the willingness to grow together, to work together to disseminate the culture of sustainability, making it an element that delivers a competitive edge.